We're live. It's finished. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2. To be honest with you, I'm not happy. I think it's 2 points dropped. There's a lot of things we're going to debate tonight. So get your comments in, get your questions in, and what we do, we'll go through them. But for me, I think Emery got his tactics wrong totally. Chris, coming to you first. What was your take on the game? What was the positives and negatives? And are you happy with a draw?
Well, I wear Arsenal on my leg, which is I got the Arsenal tattoo, and I feel like taking it off after that game. I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a bit going far.
Well, you want to take it off?
Yeah, cut it off.
Jesus Christ.
No, but I feel when I looked at the team sheet, I looked at the defence, looked decent. I looked at the three up front, looked absolutely superb. And then you had three midfielders, who are all defensive midfielders. So where's the creativity? I cannot believe it. I'm still shocked that he picked them three because they're all defensive midfielders. And as Xhaka gets in the team, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo, mate. I really ain't. I really ain't got a Scooby-Doo. I'm speechless that he played because he's a donkey.
He shouldn't have started.
He shouldn't have.
Who's that, Xhaka?
Yeah, he should not have started, mate.
The only positives is hopefully he'll play with them three up front for the future now. We'll carry on playing three up front because they did look good together.
Not all the time, though.
Mate, you got a point. No, not all the time.
I think with Lacazette and Aubameyang, when you play one of them on the you play Aubameyang on the wing, you're losing 50% of his ability. When we moved him into the middle, he looks lethal. He looks lethal when we moved him into the middle.
Yeah,
I think Pepe.
True, you got a point there.
I think Nicolas Pepe, for me, yeah, fair enough, he didn't score. He got an assist, but he didn't score. But he was fantastic in that game. He caused some real problems for their defence.
Can I just bring it back to Saka again a minute? Sorry, because apparently his comment after the game in his interview, he said on Saka, right? In 90 minutes, I am very proud of his work. Some mistakes you can have. The penalty is one very disappointing action, but he worked and played very well. If we win, maybe we are speaking about the mistakes less. What is this guy on? What is Emery on?
Was he watching the same game as us?
He can't come out though, can he, and say that Granit Xhaka was stupid to go in the box and go for a dive when he should have stayed on his feet and forced the player out, basically away from the box. You can't come out and say Granit Xhaka's shit. I don't want him in the team because you're just going to make it toxic.
No, you put their confidence down and then you build it slowly back up. That's what Emery's going to do with Xhaka.
How's that going for Ole Solskjaer?
Mike,
shouldn't get back in the team after that. He shouldn't get back in the team after that performance. He should not get back in the team.
If he wears this badge, I haven't got a fucking clue. He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to Arsenal. That is how I feel. If he was an horse, he would have been shot 2 years ago. He'd have been put down 2 years ago.
Mike.
Yeah, that's our captain. That's our captain you're talking about. He's Arsenal's captain.
Hang on.
He's Arsenal's pride and joy, man.
Mike, coming to you. We haven't heard from you yet. For me, Granit Xhaka shouldn't be an Arsenal player. Certainly shouldn't be Arsenal captain. I think for the 130, 40 years we've been going, I think he's the worst captain we've ever had. How do you feel?
Well, I think that it's a short-term issue because it may be shorter term than we think after the international break because we're flooded with great competition in midfield for a change. Maybe it'll change, but this is what I say. We're relying on Granit Xhaka for 3 reasons. One is his defensive ability at set plays in the air. He does clear a lot away at corners and set plays, and we're not a very tall team, not even at centre-back. The other one is his age. All of our other midfield options, as we all know, are 23 and younger. And so that is a risk. You know, that's not necessarily pro for Granit Xhaka, but it's he almost gets in the team, I think, by default because everybody else is a youngster. And then the third one is the leadership. Now, of course, we don't really know what he's like off the field. Let's be honest. On the field, I'm sure he can show some great leadership qualities, but I think everybody would agree your leadership is shown in your actions more than your words. And today was a classic example when you really needed a leader and he let the team down. So I look at, when I look at Xhaka and the decision to be made, I look at Guendouzi. And I look at Guendouzi and I think to myself, he's 20, I think, right? So if somebody said to me, there's a guy called Guendouzi, I've never seen him, and maybe sort of blanked him, so I can't really get a visual on what he actually looks like and how old I think he is. I'd have thought that he was the 27-year-old playing with maturity, and that the Xhaka guy was just a loose cannon hothead. And so I don't know that I would feel the same way as I think Emery does about Xhaka. I think I would let Guendouzi play instead of Xhaka because he does almost everything that Xhaka does, plus more, and he's not a loose cannon. So I think moving forward, I think that's what we're going to see. But I think that's why it's happening. It's because of the age thing and his height on set plays. I think that's why it's happening.
That shouldn't come into it, should it, Mike? Age shouldn't come into it. It should be down to he's good enough to play there, and he ain't good enough to even wear the Arsenal shirt.
Well, yeah, I got you. I'm not disagreeing. I wouldn't play him. The thing is, if you're going to have your oldest midfielder be 23 years of age, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm convinced by what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think this is what Emery's doing. I think Emery picks him because of set plays, defensive set plays, because he is good in the air, and I think he's picking him because the other guys are just younger, and I think that makes him nervous because Emery's a nervous coach. I think everybody sees that.
I just think it's an absolute shame, to be honest, that he dropped Willock. How can you say to a young player?
That's a big shame as well.
How can you say to a young player at the start of the season, go out and show me what you can do? And he's done that in all 3 games. I think he's been one of our best players. And then in this big game, he said to him, basically, sorry, mate, you're not good enough. Sit on the bench, which is totally...
And then he insults him by bringing on Mkhitaryan instead of him, or our 350 grand a week bloke, Ozil.
He could have brought on Nelson, Reece Nelson, and he brings him that.
I don't think Nelson would have done note in that game. To be honest, it would have been bad for him.
Okay.
When you look, because he'd have to go off for Aubameyang.
He's young. He's fast. He's faster than Mickey. Way fast. He's got speed. He's got it on him. He's got legs for days.
I get that.
Something at least.
I don't know why Lacazette came off me for Mkhitaryan. I couldn't get my head around it.
Injured.
Lacazette was
injured.
Let's just look at the tactics a moment, okay? And we're talking about team selection and tactics. And after each person's made their point, so let the person make their point without interrupting about the team and the tactics, and then each person then can have their say, without interruption. So there's no crossover of speaking. Mike, do you feel Emery got his tactics right today? And what was the positive for you from his team formation and also how we played? And why was there such a difference between the first half performance and the second half performance? Because personally, what I found, we were taking 20 passes to get to their penalty box. They were cutting us open with 3.
Yeah, totally agree.
Well, personally, I've been wanting him to play 4-3-3 for a while, and I think that's what happened today. I think the formation was fine. I do wish that he would stop hopping around from formation to formation from week to week, because I think it's confusing for the players. I'll say that I'm not sure that the selection of midfielders in the 3 was what I would have gone with. I would have still started Torreira, but if you watch, Torreira played higher, almost as an attacking midfielder. He was in the box on crosses, and that's not the best use of him. I think he thought Tottenham were going to play out from the back a little bit more. Therefore, Torreira could intercept. That's his best quality. And so he wanted to use that, but Tottenham didn't. They went over the top and into these big oceans of space to sun, and it didn't work. So I would have still played Torreira, and I'd have played Guendouzi, but I'd have played Willock or Ceballos as the more creative or off-the-ball runner instead of Xhaka is what I would have done, and I think the formation would have been fine. And as far as what you said, Sonny, in regards to first half, second half, I mean, the game of football just speaks for itself. We were losing 2-1, and we had a lot of energy behind us with that 44th minute goal. So I think that the crowd and the energy, and obviously the halftime team talk, I'm sure, raised the players, and they had nothing to lose. They were losing. When the game starts 0-0, it's a different thing. It's blank, isn't it? So I think that the scoreline and the impetus was with Arsenal, and second half should have been a victory, really.
Simon?
The midfield three I would have picked Torreira, Ceballos and Ozil. What I would have picked.
Yeah, spot on.
Because with Torreira, obviously he'd do the dog work in the midfield, but then Xhaka isn't going to chase down the man, is he? And try and win the ball back. He's not that sort of player. Ceballos is like that dog that constantly will not leave you alone. He's like that little dog that just won't stop humping your leg. He's at you. As soon as he came on, literally he completed same take-ons as Nicolas Pepe, and he'd only been on the pitch 27 minutes. And I think with Ozil, when you want Lacazette and Aubameyang and Pepe to start as a front three, you can't just rely everything on them because they're having to create and combat themselves. With Ozil, he plays the game to his ability, so he slows everything down, which brings Pepe, brings Lacazette, and brings Aubameyang in together, compacts each other, and then their defence has got to keep an eye on Aubameyang. Well, where's Lacazette? Oh, let's watch him. Oh, God, there's Pepe. That's the sort of stuff that we need to do. Xhaka, for me, just needs dropping big time.
Terry?
Well, I think you all know by now that I think Xhaka shouldn't even be in our team, so he shouldn't even started. I mean, I've slated Guendouzi for his first 3 games. I mean, in that second half, he did have a great game, but I still think he shouldn't have started myself. The 3 I would have had is Torreira. I would have told him to stick like glue to the defence and not come over the halfway line because, as Simon just said, he loves getting in there. He wants to be at everything all the time. And then I would have had Willock and Ceballos. I mean, I would have had Ozil, but at the moment he still ain't had no game time yet, and he needs to get a few minutes under his belt. So I would have went with Ceballos and Willock, and them two would have run that midfield like Ceballos did in the second half. He was running up and down. He was all over the place, and Willock would have done the same, exactly like Harry Winks does for Tottenham. I don't really think he's a great player, but he's got such an engine on him, and that's what Willock would have. He would have been up and down. And the front three for me is the front three we've got to have, but we're playing far too wide with Aubameyang and Pepe. If we need to play like Liverpool do and Man City do, you need to bring them in a little bit closer together and then let them all run off of each other.
That's what Firmino does.
What's that?
That's what Bobby Firmino does.
Yeah, exactly.
It brings everyone closer together. That's what Ozil would do. It'd slow the game down to his ability.
Yeah.
I think Ozil for me is done. I think number 10s now in the game are fading. You don't need a number 10.
The thing is with Ozil, I love him. I think he's a great player, but we don't play to his capabilities. Because obviously with Wenger and with Emery, they play too defensive all the time, especially when we go away from home and then we're looking all the time at players like Ozil, Aubameyang and Lacazette to get us out of a hole, which they can't do because obviously all our other players are far too deep like they was in Liverpool.
Valley?
I mean, same as Amaguna, mate, to be honest. He's got a point there. We're playing it way too wide. For me, first of all, he made a huge mistake. 3 defensive midfielders in a game like this. It's a fast-paced game. You're playing with rivals, and you don't do that shit, man. You don't put Xhaka on. He's been very clumsy. I like Xhaka personally, but he's been too clumsy. He shouldn't start. He shouldn't be nowhere near the team. Willock, he should have had a game time today, 100%. Guendouzi, yes, he's good. He is good for his age. He's going to improve. He's got that potential. But today, he played well. Yes, he did. But you still can't put them in a position like that against a big team. I mean, you've got to have that full confidence. Pepe, exactly. Yeah, he played well. But for me, obviously, you lot might disagree. Pepe is just an improved Iwobi. He's
Well,
elite.
No, I'm not having that. Not having that.
No.
Sorry.
Listen to this. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's great. He's skillful, more skillful than Iwobi. He's running the line better than Iwobi did on the wing and stuff. But his shooting, come on, his shooting.
I understand what you're saying there, but I just think obviously what you got to look at is that he's only had 2 full games at the moment, and obviously
that's true. That is true.
Where we was playing in France, it was totally different pace. It was so slow. You know what I mean? Over there and everything. He's got to get up with the pace.
Different league, isn't it? You can't match the leagues, of course.
Do you mind if I just cut in? What I found with Pepe today, he had the pace to beat the fullback all day long today, right? He had him skinned. He had the trickery. He had the pace, and he needs to get a bit of a selfish streak in it for me, because I think he could have driven into the box and he wasn't. He was trying to play. He was always trying to play a ball what wasn't on.
Just past the back line.
We got a really good question here, actually. Before I go to you, Chris, Deepak had a pleasure meeting today. If Unai Emery could replay the game again, do you think he'd pick the same midfield, Chris?
Yes,
of course he would.
Yes, I do think he would.
Of course he would.
He's obviously got he's got something. He likes Guendouzi, doesn't he? He likes Xhaka. He likes them both. Whatever we say, he's going to keep on picking them two. See, for me,
hopefully he's watching this, isn't he? Hopefully he's watching this tonight.
I would have had 3 Tony Adams at the back. I would have started with 3 Tony Adams because the defence we've got is shocking. And I would have actually started with Callum Chambers, and I would have put Leighton Niles on the right, because he's got so much pace, that geezer. But where he's at right back, he can't use his pace.
You've got to remember our fullbacks now. When our proper fullbacks come back, is going to be a different situation in Prem.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. When Rob Holding comes back, he's the one that can walk out with the ball. He can bring the ball like a little bit like what's his name from Man United, Maguire. He brings the ball out and he'll start the attack from midfield.
Don't say Maguire.
Who's he going to drop, Simon? Who's he going to drop for Holding, Simon?
Socrates.
Yeah.
He won't drop him.
No,
he will.
No.
He will.
You can't. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Simon. He will. He will do that, because obviously there's got to be something in the contract with David Luiz. That's why he's come to us, because he
for him to come to us.
But we didn't want to be fourth choice defender at Chelsea. So Emery's obviously said to him, "You come to us, and then I'll give you game time for some reason." But I didn't want him in the first place. Why on earth we've got him? I haven't got a clue.
David Luiz was good.
£8 million, mate. That's a steal.
No,
I'd rather have him than Mustafi and Koscielny.
I would have rather have had Chambers in the back. I'd have tipped
one thing.
Agree with this. Coming to Mustafi.
One thing I will say though.
27. He's 27 years old, yeah, and like all the fans of Arsenal have put Mustafi's fucking confidence down. Completely ruined him.
You done that yourself, man.
Right.
You done it yourself. You put your own confidence down. The geezer's dog shit, mate.
Wait.
Can we put Xhaka's confidence down then to get rid of him? Come on, let's all have got Xhaka. We get rid of him.
Yeah, like all the fans have been putting the players' confidence down, and it's. Don't get me wrong. I did the same with Iwobi. I hated the guy. I think for me, he was awful. The stats he had at Arsenal were disgusting for a winger.
Listen, the best thing that Iwobi done for Arsenal was we got 40 million for him.
Yeah,
mate, we conned them. We conned Everton.
That was the best thing he ever done for Arsenal.
You know, personally, right, I think Unai Emery is the worst manager we've had, right, since Bruce Rioch, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
I won't say since Bruce Rioch. I'll say in our history. I think he's the worst manager apart from Bruce Rioch in our history. I think he hasn't got a clue. I think he overthinks things. He don't know his best team. He don't know his best formation. He don't know his best tactics. And we're going to get into the top 4 if we get into the top 4 by default, not by what we're doing. Because for me, I don't know.
I feel the same, Sonny. You know what I mean? I can't see in the season now and 4 games what he's trying to do with us. Which way does he want us to play? What formation does he want to play? What team does he want to play?
Formations are ridiculous.
Sorry?
You're right. You're right.
Mike, what's he trying to do? What's Emery trying to do?
Well,
But what
I
you got to
think-
realise is the three games we've played, it's all been the defence that's lost us the game.
I'll ask a personal question. Mike, what's he trying to do?
Well, I think everybody talks about we lack a style. Emery doesn't have a style. I think he does have a style. I think Emery's style is game to game, and we change formation, we change strategy, we change the way we play from game to game, and that's the man's style. And I think that he is as you said, Sonny. I think he's an overthinker, and he's too involved. I'm a coach, and so I can tell you so many times in my coaching career, I've become too involved. I've made it too much about me, and forgot that the players that I've had some decent teams, are very talented. And if I just give them a good structure and let them play, then that's far better than being over information. And so I think that, we've had a week between each game of the season. And so that's not going to happen for the rest of the year. It never does. And so that's gold for a coach. And I think he spent his time teaching them something brand new every week, a brand new formation. We've had a different formation every single week, a different strategy, rather than settling like Spurs did today in their regular formations. The players know what's coming. They know where their players are. They play with some automatic. And I think that Emery is just overcoaching them, Sonny.
On here, we've got five, not including me. We've got 5 people on this panel. Okay, Terry, I know his opinions because he's on with me every podcast. But I've just picked out 5 random fans who I know off Twitter. Okay, so it's not an Emery hate. It's not an Arsenal. It's not an Arsenal attack. It's not nothing. I mean, really, what I want to do is come on here and celebrate a victory, right? What are the rest of the Arsenal fan base? What are the rest of the Arsenal fan base not getting? And 5 people I picked out at random is getting exactly what I'm saying. I don't get it.
I'm trying to think whether they're just all trolls on Twitter and they're not actually real Arsenal fans, because I can't.
Yeah, there must be, mate. A lot of them.
I just honestly can't see how they can't see what we're seeing every single week.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm going to stick up for Emery a bit here. The games we've played, it's been mostly defensive errors that have cost us goals.
Same shit as usual.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's the defence that's costing us goals. It really is.
Can I just pick up on
and then he should have put players that could have played straight away for us, Chris?
Can I just pick up on his comments? It's not Emery's fault that Xhaka and Socrates let him down. Okay, I accept that. That's not Emery's fault. It's Emery's fault that he picks them, no?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Valley, I mean, you saw the game today. What's your thoughts there? Well, this, me personally, I think it's 2 points. I think it's 2 points dropped. What's your actual thoughts on? There's some fans celebrating on AFTV like Heavy D. You celebrate the fact that we come back and we got a draw and it showed character.
What? Mate, that's not to me. To me, I don't celebrate that. To me, that's a loss.
Yeah.
Did you say Heavy D?
Fucking loss, mate. Listen, you've gone out, yeah. You've played against Tottenham. You've played 3 defensive midfielders. I mean, all right, I understand. You've got the 3 main attackers on there. So I don't understand what he's trying to do. Is he trying to attack or is he trying to defend? Which one? Because
But this is
all the fans have been calling every week to have Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette.
a quick message. If you're gonna come on my show and call me a mug, go fuck off and don't watch it. Yeah, all right.
Well said.
Well said.
Exactly, stupid idiot he is, mate. But anyway, like I'm saying, we've all been screaming, all the fans, you're saying, oh, we need Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang to start. Okay, we didn't say we wanted 3 defensive midfielders behind them.
With no creativity either.
We're not screaming for 3 defensive midfielders. We're screaming for Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe, maybe Ozil, but definitely Ceballos to start. Not Xhaka to start, Torreira to start as well, and Guendouzi at the same time. That's bullshit, mate. That's just... Have you gone out to win? Have you gone out to draw? I don't understand. Like, you're at home.
Bro, I've got love for you, bro. I'm glad you subscribed to the channel. I'll wait to keep watching. But seriously, don't come on my channel and cut me off. It's my channel. But sorry, I didn't read the whole message. I will next time. But you know, let's on this channel. Let's all keep it to a football opinion, and let's not get personal because I don't want that shit on here.
Yeah,
exactly. We're here for football, mate. That's all we're here for.
Said.
Mike, what we learned from this today? What's Emery learned from it?
Well, I think his first thing that he's going to learn that he's going to have to make his mind up, Sonny, over the break is about the captains. I think that decision will be made, and I think that Granit Xhaka is making it harder and harder for him to make him a captain because his leadership on the field through his actions is proving to be something that is turning the fans against him. And of course, many turned against him a while ago. I think that that's the first thing that he's learning. And I think that thankfully we have great competition in the squad, Sonny. For the first time in years, we covered all our holes in the transfer market. So the fans are going to become that much more irate because they know that they have better options on the bench. So I just hope that he has the guts to try a younger midfield three going forward and try to stabilise some kind of formation that we can have as a base and play that for the next 5 games or so that the players actually know where each other are.
I mean, people in the comments, do you feel that the fans are turning against him, or is it too early to say that? And let us know your opinions as well, and I'll put them on screen. Simon, what do you think?
My honest opinion, I love Unai Emery. Absolutely love him. Because he's not the same manager like the manager we've had for 22 years that sticks with the same formation, the same players, the same tactic.
Don't compare. Don't do.
No, I'm not comparing. I'm saying he's not like.
No.
Unai Emery has got a plan
I know Wenger did not great at the end of the coming years of his career at Arsenal, but please don't say he stuck to the team, because Wenger, you've got to praise that man for what he's done for this club, okay? At the end of the day.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't have anyone.
Valley, sorry, but listen, this channel's unfiltered, yeah? I respect your opinion, right? But
I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
I respect your opinion.
We all respect each other's opinion, but we're all going to have different ones. So,
of course. No, I understand.
For 10 to 12 years, bro, you're 100% bang on. From that time after that, the geezer was fucking shit.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's what I mean. But you've got to respect the grind he did at the beginning. I mean, like, I know at the end, I was against him as well. Don't get me wrong. I was like, what is he doing?
I respect him as a manager for what he done. I think the football that we played under him at our best, and even sometimes at our worst, was better than what Emery's playing at the moment. I 100% respect that. I think Wenger's style of football was a million times more pleasing on the eye than what we've got now.
We never won nothing though.
Huh?
We never won nothing under his style of play towards the end though. That's the only problem. We're fantastic to watch, and you go around the world anywhere on holiday, like I do and my family, and everyone used to say to me and go, Arsenal, like amazing football. Now it's just they don't say nothing. It's weird. But we were known.
It's not just
we were known for amazing football.
Category right now.
But coming to Mike, I'm going to read out this full question because I don't want to get told off. Right? But I'm going to read out everything. Corex, Gouda, 21. I'm going to read out the whole lot. Right? Sonny, do you agree that if Emery can get us Champions League, someone like Allegri would come to us? He is not great on Emery. Unfortunately, there aren't many cops around.
Yeah, I think he would, and I think if we get the Champions League, Unai Emery will sign a new contract and stay. I think if he doesn't, I think that guy right there that you've just read off is probably the number one choice for Arsenal Football Club. He doesn't have a job right now, and of course he's done greater things than we've done in the past 10, 12 years. So I think that's what will happen.
I mean, what Hugo's saying here? He'll judge Emery at the end of the season. Hugo, that's fine, bro. what you do as fans, you judge them all on every match basis, and then you draw your conclusions at the end of the season. But you know, you can have an opinion in a debate. You know, we're not robots. We're not going to just be quiet just because we're going to judge them at the end of the season. You know, Terry.
I honestly just can't see what he's bringing to us. I really can't. There's the style of play I'm not enjoying at the moment. Well, I haven't enjoyed it since he's been there, to be honest. Even when we went, 22 games unbeaten last year, we weren't playing great football. We were just scraping through most of them games. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It weren't fantastic football, and we could say, oh, yeah, Henry's brought flamboyance back to Arsenal. You know what I mean? The players are playing out of their skin and that. We was just lucky in a few of them. We didn't really do much. And the first 4 games this year, what? Please tell me, what has he done for us for these four games? Apart from
nothing.
Players that we don't fucking want in the team and playing players out of position. I know we've got some injuries, but Torreira today, he's brought him back for the first game and he's our best holding midfielder we've got. And where does he play him? He plays him on the right of midfield and plays Saka there. I don't fucking understand it.
I mean, Abiodun said, "Yeah, what did Klopp and Pochettino do in their first 2 seasons?" I understand. The point you're trying to make, but at the end of the day, Poch ain't done nothing. I agree with that. He ain't done fuck all. But other than he has brought Tottenham further. So even as Arsenal fans, we've got to accept that because Tottenham were nowhere. It's also coincided with the rest of the big clubs slipping in standards, right? So he's had a bit of an easy ride with that. This 8-year Klopp analogy really annoys me.
I know.
Right? Because just because Klopp, I said it the other day, just because Klopp has done it in 8 years, it doesn't mean we're going to do it. It doesn't mean Watford are going to do it. It doesn't mean Leicester are going to do it. It's just, it's just totally different. Every club's just different. Chris, what's Emery's long-term vision and goals and plans and?
All I would say, and I would do it tomorrow, that I would get rid of Emery. I can't say his name. I don't know his name off by heart, but I would get the Wolves boss in because he seems to know how to play attacking football all the time. I think he's a great manager.
There's no.
He's a good manager, yeah, but no, he's not. It doesn't fit our style of play.
But he plays attacking football. He does. His Wolves team go out and play attacking football all the time. Emery to me, he's like in Spain. If you score 6 goals, the other team will score 7. We're not in Spain now. We're in England. The English game's totally different. He won with Sevilla Europa League 3 times, but he won that because he played shit teams. He's too defensive in my eyes. He really is. You're playing 3 defensive midfielders, and like you said, Valley, and then playing 3 great attackers. How does that counteract? It does not counteract. Ozil sitting behind them 3 would feed the ball all day long, and I do believe that's where we've got to go. Them 3 up front, Ozil sitting behind them, with Tierra sitting behind him. I'd put Sadabas on the left, and I'd put Leighton Knowles on the right, personally. That is how I would start my midfield upwards.
But Blue well, just so people don't get the wrong idea that this is an anti-Emery channel, I actually agree with you, mate. I won't sack him tomorrow either. I'll give him to the end of the season to get us Champions League. And once he has got Champions League, you then got to give the guy a chance to see how we get on after that. Whether we're going to like it, whether it's pleased on the eye or not. Obviously, Emery is trying to build something. Me personally, I don't think he was backed by the board because he hasn't filled the areas that we needed with the quality that we needed. I think the Conky's dodged a bullet, and their PR was excellent. Simon, I know you're an Emery fan. What do you see in Emery's style which you like so much? Why have you bought into him so much?
Emery's style of play. Yeah. Basically, with Emery's style of play, we're not actually going to see it at the minute. When Kieran Tierney, Hector Bellerin come back and Rob Holding, then he can start doing his style of play like he was doing last season, where he brings the ball from the back. Nathan Niles cannot bring the ball from the back. Neither can Monreal. That's why he's gone. Neither can David Luiz, and neither can Socrates. Rob Holding can play out from the back. Leno can play out from the back. Hector Bellerin can play out from the back. and Kieran Tierney will be the best left back in this Premier League this season.
I agree with you there.
And then basically what he will do is that you'll have Tierney and Bellerin, Rob Holding, and probably David Luiz as your back four until January. And then we'll probably go and spend big money on Upamecano. And that will be Koscielny's replacement. William Saliba is Mustafi's replacement. So then you've got your back four there, basically, and then he's got nowhere to hide. That gives more pressure, takes off more pressure from Xhaka, who's not constantly getting bombarded, because Tierney will overlap, Bellerin will overlap, Holding will sit in and basically come nearer to Xhaka and give him support. Torreira will be free to do anything he wants to chase down the man. You'll then have Ceballos, that literally is a wizard, like Santi Cazorla. Then you'll have Nicolas Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette, or you can take Aubameyang off and you can put Gabriel Martinelli there. Because Martinelli, don't underestimate this kid. He is absolutely brilliant. What I've seen of this kid, he should play in our next game away to Watford, because he's not in Iwobi. He don't do everything and ain't got no end product. He will literally take a man on, go down the byline, cross it in. He runs back, he works, he tracks back. He'll then link up and forward with Lacazette, and then Pepe will also feed off the right. Ozil will be like literally invisible in midfield, and he'll have the free roam to do anything he wants.
But
That's
Simon,
what I think.
But Simon, in hindsight, that all sounds fantastic. But will he play that way? Will he play that way, or will he play defensive like he's done for a season and 4 games now?
Yeah, but you've got to think about it. Ainsley Nathan-Niles is not a right back. So then he's not going to go attacking all the time. He wants everyone to come back and help. Ainsley Nathan-Niles is crap at defending, but he's quite good going forward. And then you've got Monreal, who's not got it anymore. That's why he's gone. His legs have gone. You cannot have that team come back. So he wants Granit Xhaka, Torreira, and Guendouzi to be the free holding in the midfield. So then basically they don't do a job because they're going to get outrun, and he knows this.
So
it takes a little bit of pressure off the defence. Not a lot, because we're still shocking at the back. But when Tierney and Bellerin and Rob Holding come back, you'll see a massive difference for us.
So you're basically saying, at the moment, which I'm saying, is that at the moment we can't defend to save our life.
No, we can't.
Right, so why are we playing defensive then? Why are we playing that way? Why not just play attacking football and say, fuck it, let's try and play really good football, put the attacking players out there, and if we lose 4-0, 5-0, but we're attacking, who cares? Because we know we can't defend.
Well, that's what Liverpool did, though, with Jurgen Klopp, didn't they? When they were constantly, you score, we score, you score, we score. Yeah. And everyone said to him, if he doesn't get the balance right with defence, attack, and control games in midfield, he'll get dominated. Liverpool fans, on his second year, I think, at Liverpool, were saying, get him out, get him out, get him out. They went to Wolves when Wolves were in the Championship and got turned over in the FA Cup. Then everything started building up on him. And then what he did, he spent 75 million on Van Dijk. That player alone made his defence better.
Yeah, exactly.
Upamecano will make our defence like Van Dijk. And he's also 22 years old.
Can I just say something to Hugo before we go on? Hugo, bro, that's what the comments are there for. Seriously, it's all about your participation. So you can flood the comments as much as you want, mate. It's just a shame that I can't have everyone on the podcast. But like I said to everybody, there's everyone's going to get a chance to come on. So feel free, everyone in the comments, to flood it as much as you want. That's what I want you to do. This message for all of you, and then we're going to turn it away from memory because I don't want it to be. Obviously, we're missing the main focus of today, which was the game, right? Just based on Emery, right? Forget last season. On what we've had in how many games have we played? Is it 4? Is it 4 games we played this season?
Yeah.
Fourth game.
Yeah. On the 4 games you've rated this season. If we were going to do a little mini assessment, what ratings would you give us as a whole, Simon?
I give us a 6 at the minute because the way, we did lose 3-1 to Liverpool, but we didn't get bossed, did we? We didn't cave in and we didn't buckle under pressure. Liverpool are a superior team to us. They've got different aspects. They're going for the title. We're going for top 4. And then when we played,
that's bad, isn't it? Top 4. That's not. How can an Arsenal fan say we're going for top 4? We should be going for the league. We're Arsenal, for God's sakes.
we're nowhere near the league, and that's how realistic we have to be as fans. If we start jumping on social media and saying, why are we not going for like Claude? I don't want to single him out, but I'm just saying, like Claude says that he would have got rid of Emery last summer because of the Europa League and all that. He still had Wenger's players in the Europa League, and the way that them players just bottled everything and let Chelsea come forward, it were embarrassing. And Emery knew it were embarrassing because to embarrass Mesut Ozil by bringing on a young kid and taking him off in a European final, that's Emery's way of saying, you fucking prick. Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
And then he goes, that's where he's looking at Ozil and going, you absolute dick. You're supposed to be captain that's supposed to galvanise this squad, and he did nothing. Joe Willock came on and did more in the time that Ozil did, and so did Iwobi as well in that final. But Liverpool, you look how long it's took Jurgen Klopp, though, to build this Liverpool squad. It's not going to be a click to finger like that. It's going to take time.
Built the squads. They haven't bought that one in 2 years.
Look at Man United. Look at Man United. They're going 7 years now since Sir Alex Ferguson are not winning a title, not even challenging. What is their philosophy?
It was like the Titanic, Alex Ferguson.
Well, the thing
he knew to get out before he was going to drown himself.
Oh yeah, I've said that myself. Fergie was the first rat to jump off its ship, and then Wayne Rooney was the second rat because he flaunted with the idea of going to Man City because he wanted big money. So he knew that. Same as Robin van Persie. Alex Ferguson lied to Van Persie on the phone and told him, "Yeah, I'll be here for another 4 years." Once he got him his trophy, he went off in style. That was it. And Robin van Persie fell for it, up line and sinker. So that's that one basically. But you just look at what Arsenal are doing at the minute is they're following the Liverpool mold. That's what they're doing. They're following the Liverpool model. You start off by in sections. What we've done, we've fixed the strike force. There's still the midfield to go, and we're sorting the defence. Tini is obviously part of the defence. Then we'll go obviously and get Upamecano. Then you've got William Saliba, like I said, and Bellerin. That's your back four for the next 10 years at most. I think Leno is still a questionable at the minute. I think he still makes too many mistakes. I don't know what's wrong with him this season, but that's that one anyway. Xhaka, you get rid of him. Leno. And then Granit Xhaka. Yeah, Granit Xhaka, you get rid of him, obviously. We'll probably get rid of him in summer. Somebody will take him. But this is what Raul Sanelli is doing, and I absolutely love this man. Raul Sanelli is the best thing to happen to my club in the last 20 years. Getting Raul Sanelli, for me, is a bigger achievement than the Invincibles. I've said it all the time.
I do agree with you there. I think he will do good things for us. But you're saying we're trying to build a squad, right? If when Tierney comes back and Holding comes back and Bellerin comes back, we're all going to love it. Don't get us wrong. But what happens if they get injured?
Well, if they get injured, then we're back to Ainsley Nathan-Niles, aren't we? And Kolasinac.
Exactly. So why didn't they do a lot more in the window to help us out even more? Because when you look at it, we basically got back all the money that we spent. So we haven't spent any money, really, again. We've done it again. If you're being realistic and you look at the accounts, we basically got all our money back in. So we didn't really spend any money.
Can we just get back to the fact that Can we just get back to the fact that we drew 2-2 with Tottenham?
Yeah.
So we drew 2-2 with Tottenham when really there's been rumours going around that Pochettino's going to leave after today's game. They're in disarray. We've just drew 2-2, and people are not saying horribly, but Simon are happy to get in top four. Whoever puts that Arsenal shirt on should play 100% for Arsenal. We should be aiming for the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, and everything. We shouldn't be, we're going to be in top four this year. That's an embarrassment to me, I'm afraid. As an Arsenal fan, I'm embarrassed that other Arsenal fans are saying
I'm with you there, mate. I'm 100% with you on that. Well,
top four.
As an Arsenal fan, I don't want to go around. My friends will tell me straight, mate. I'll tell my friends, if we say to my friends, top four, mate, they will bully the shit out of me, top four.
Come on, son.
They want to win the league.
You know what?
Yeah.
I agree with you, right? But you've got to be the most deluded Arsenal fan in the world, right? And trust me, I'm negative at times, right? You know, obviously you don't know me, to think that Arsenal could do a title challenge now. Yeah, it's never going to happen. It's
never going to happen.
No, we're nowhere near a title
But
challenge.
why?
It's been like going
Why?
to LA and you think you're going to bump into Pam Anderson and Data. It's not ain't going to happen. You know?
But you got to think it's going to happen.
Challenge.
I can't see it. To be honest with you, I'll be honest with you, right? I can't see Arsenal. I can't see Arsenal, right? I'll take Simon's points, which are quality points, that we're going to be a completely different team when Holding's back, Bellerin's back, and Tierney's in. We're going to be a completely different team. The problem still is the midfield. And it's still going to be our manager, because he don't know what the fuck he's doing when it comes to tactics as well, okay? Till he proves otherwise, right? But I can't see Arsenal ever, under Emery, getting some Man City's level and Liverpool's level. I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
I agree with you, Sonny. Unfortunately, I do agree with you.
I agree with you, mate.
Mike?
I agree.
Mike?
I agree, but I just don't understand why people are so fixated that Arsenal done well losing 3-1 to Liverpool because they're the European champions. Who cares what they are? Any two teams that play each other, it's a 50-50 thing. We should be wanting to win that game. Oh, it's okay, son. I'm going to take you to the Arsenal today because we're a top 4 team. You might like this team because we're top 4. It's an embarrassment, I'm afraid.
Mike,
I'm sorry, but it is.
Mike, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I hear what Chris is saying, and I think from Emery's point of view, he has to be careful what he says to the players, because if you preach top 4 to a group of players, then they may come and go each week, care one week and not care the other, because then that's not striving for the best. I do think, however, if I'm being realistic and trying to take the emotion away, we're a couple of years behind Liverpool and maybe 3 behind Manchester City. And I don't know if Unai Emery will be that man to get us to surpass those two. But I'd say over the Premier League era, I'm not sure if I've ever seen 2 teams this strong that get so many points and lose so infrequently, that we right now, even with a much better squad, have a chance of surpassing those 2. I think we can do a whole lot better. I think we'll finish 3rd, but I just don't see how we're in a position in the same league as those 2 to compete yet with them.
You could see Liverpool. You could see Liverpool going the whole season unbeaten and not being champions. That's mental.
It's not a Liverpool channel, but I personally think Liverpool win the league this year.
I don't think they'll get even more than 85 points.
I think City will walk the league this season, personally. I mean, but that team they got there.
Let's just bring it back to today's game at the moment, right? The reason I like this channel and the guests that I have on is because I think you've got Simon, who believes in the process, and you got Chris and Terry that totally don't believe in anything at all. So we've got 2 totally different conflicting opinions, right? And only time will tell what's right and what's wrong. Based on going into today, Mike, initially, what went wrong, especially in the first half, and what did Emery do to put it right?
Okay, for me, I'm not sure that he put it right. I think the impetus was with the team in the second half, but the biggest problem for me was Son. The entire game, and I think he's their most dangerous player, the entire game, he was picking the ball up in about 10 or 15 yards of space. And so the simple fix for me was to remove Granit Xhaka because he's not athletic enough to deal with him, move Torreira back to defensive midfield, and I know he doesn't quite have the passing range of Xhaka, that wasn't as important, and have Torreira stay closer to Son, bring on Dani Ceballos, who could have been a little more offensive-minded than Torreira was, and I think that was the big problem in the game. Arsenal had that game handled apart from the transition through Son.
Valley, let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't Emery trust his players? especially against, especially that's the impression I get, especially against the bigger teams. I don't feel that Emery puts enough trust in his team to play our game. I think he's always playing to the opposition's strengths and not to our own, in my opinion. How do you feel?
What for me, why he doesn't trust his players is simple. It's just he doesn't have confidence in them, and if he doesn't have confidence in them, they ain't got confidence in themselves. Like he's brought Willock in now properly. Obviously, the first couple of games and stuff he started or whatever, and he played well. Don't get me wrong, he's done well, but now he's dropped him for the Tottenham game, and he's not trusting him for the Tottenham game, but he trusted him for the other games, and he's making now. Obviously, Willock's thinking in his head, "Shit, man, my manager's like doesn't trust me. He's like no confidence in me."
Exactly.
Yep.
So now his state of football play when he comes into the next game, his confidence completely down because he didn't start the last game or he didn't come on the last game, and he's like thinking, "Shit, maybe I'm not good enough." And I personally think it's gonna get into their heads, especially the young players like Reece Nelson, another one. When he was on loan, Hoffenheim, I think it was, yeah, in Germany, he was amazing. Played well, done well, assists, goals, whatever. And he come back to us, and I thought when Iwobi went, I thought, sweet, it's going to be a regular starter. But he's Emre's still ain't got trust in him. Still ain't got trust in him to put him on.
Simon, let me ask.
Bring him on second half, maybe.
Let me ask you a question, okay? Because I want to try and focus it back onto today's game, right? In your opinion, what was that Emery actually trying to do? Because I'm confused. I mean, playing three holding midfielders today, for me, it doesn't work.
It looks like for me when he knew that Christian Eriksen was starting. Eriksen is a massive plus for Tottenham. That's how good of a player he is. He can create anything and he can change a game on a spin of a coin, like he did with Aston Villa. Their first game, they were shocking in that game. Aston Villa ran them ragged, attacked them, and they didn't have a clue what to do. And Ndombele, for how much they paid for him, was rubbish. I thought Sissoko played better than him in that half, but then Eriksen came on and his quality just shone through. But the thing with Tottenham as well, they know Christian Eriksen's leaving. They know he's going, and Eriksen knows he's going. Because Tottenham now, for them 6 years, yeah, they've been to semi-finals, they've been to a Champions League final. They've not done nothing in it. Liverpool in that final, for me, was shocking. Tottenham could have won that final. I'm glad they didn't, but they could have won it. And then basically, their squad now is just going to get thinner and thinner and thinner. And there's stuff behind the scenes that people don't know. I think there's something between Daniel Levy, the new stadium, payments for the new stadium, and Pochettino is probably putting more pressure on Daniel Levy to get more players. He wants his squad. They need a right back desperately. Didn't get one. And then that's why Poch is now trying to force Levy's hand by saying, "Oh, if we win, lose or draw, I'm leaving." But anyway, going back on the game, I thought Emery literally set up a bit too defensively in my personal view. I thought he didn't go in an attacking lineup. He went with no balance, but he went with defensive. He didn't trust that defence, and he didn't trust that midfield, but he wanted the midfield and defence to do the job. And in the first half, Spurs were just absolutely cutting us through. They were cutting us open like a knife through butter, literally.
Can I just agree with Joe there, please, Sonny? Because obviously I'm fed up of all this talk about what Liverpool's got, what Man City's got, what Tottenham's got, Eriksen's got, and all that. We're Arsenal. Let's just worry about ourselves. Let's worry about ourselves. Let's play our best players and let's just go for it against teams. If we do that, then I think we will be brilliant. We'll be so much better. Don't worry about what other teams have got. Let's worry about ourselves first.
I just want to make a highlight this. Hopefully, Simon would come on the channel more often. Simon's actually someone he knows his football, and he's got a totally different view to mine, which is why I like different people on, because there's no point of having a channel that everyone has the same opinion. But having said that, all the guests I get on, I don't know what their opinion is usually. So sometimes it's like that. But the whole point of the channel is it's unfiltered. So anyone's got something to say on the podcast to say it, or just send me in your fan cam. So if you want to take different, if you don't want different content on the channel, it's down to you lot to send it in. Right, basically, coming to Chris. On what you saw today, do you think it's just early days and that we haven't settled, and we're still waiting for our defenders to get in, and then a lot of fans are going to say, well, if they have a bad game, a lot of fans are going to say, well, they've only just come back from injury, so that's the excuse already. And also, as well, based on Bellerin, he's better than what we've got, but Bellerin was never the answer, because to be honest with you, apart from half the season last season when he was in, the season before that, for me, it was absolutely shocking. So I hope we see the Bellerin of the half the season we had last year, and when he first broke onto the team as well.
Well, is that his haircut now?
Valerie, what's your centre backs? What's your best centre back pairing for Arsenal at the moment?
Adams and Keown.
To be honest with you, mate. Mate, honest to God, I can't pick out of any of them personally. I mean, everyone's saying Chambers. I personally don't rate Chambers.
I think he's over. Trust me, bruv. I think Chambers is so overrated. It's beyond fucking belief. The geezer's alright, but he's alright, but he's still a new boy trying to find his way in the team. Everyone's making him out like he's Cellini or someone. You know,
I mean, it was player of the season for Fulham. Enough said.
I'm talking about how
exactly. What did he do at Fulham? He made mistakes. That's the problem. He just
even holding, mate. Even holding.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but even holding, mate. Everyone's going on about holding. Like he's Virgil van Dijk. Holding is not either.
No, he's nowhere near that. He's better defender what we've got. He's better than what we've got. He's not on that level.
He's the best out of shit, basically.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone's missing the point. There's been a common thing happening for the last 16 games at Arsenal. As soon as we let a goal in, we panic for 10, 15 minutes. And that's when they get another goal. If you watch the game today, as soon as they scored, it was like our defence panicked. We never used to do that.
Yeah.
We never, ever used to do that. Every time someone scores against us, we panic.
I think there's a common theme that's been going now for at least 3 or 4 years, even when under Wenger in his last couple of years. And if you watch, I can't understand for the life of me why when, like Tottenham or any team, but Tottenham for today, when they get the ball, all we do is run backwards. We don't run towards them. So all we're doing is putting more pressure on ourselves because they come out from their defence right up to our goal area before we even put a tackle in.
Mike, I want to put 2 points to you. Right, this is to all of you actually. Guendouzi for me today was going
fantastic.
Going forward, I thought it was first class. When Guendouzi gets some upper body strength and he can't be pushed off the ball so easily, I think he's going to be one hell of a player. Right?
Is the next Paul Pogba?
Yeah. At the moment, I won't put him in that league, mate.
No, he will be. He will be the next Paul Pogba in a few years. Trust me.
Because I think Paul Pogba is shit. I don't know what all the hype is around him. To be honest, what has he done? What has he done as a player? He's done fuck all. Apart from in the French team, where he's got all the players around him, like Erdl did. He's fucking shit.
He missed a penalty. He missed a penalty.
All right. Is the next Vieira? Let's say that then.
Yeah, that's better. That's better, Simon.
Just a point on this. Very well. Those podcasts like Prime Laguna Talk and Craig had a guest on Unreal Nostalgia. Unreal Nostalgia is great, and I've got a lot of respect for them channels, and and they're friends of mine. But listen, mate, this channel is for now. We're not talking about the past. We can't change the past, right? So a trip down memory lane like fucking Coronation Street is not what this channel. It's not what this channel is about, right? This channel is about today. It's about what's relevant. It's where we're going in the future. I could not give a fuck what happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago. I could not care less. This channel is unfiltered. It's about today. It's about today's opinion. So get on today's program.
Exactly, mate. This channel's about Arsenal, boys.
Yeah, up the Gunners.
Who gives a fuck like 20 years ago? I couldn't give a fuck personally.
Oh, could I? Oh, could I?
Mate, before we go anyway, I just want to say,
You've asked me the question 50 times, mate, and I
I've
told
got a friend, yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Listen, yeah, I've got a friend. Before like anything, he's had the worst weekend out of everyone right now. He used to be a United fan, and now he's a Tottenham fan.
What?
I've got one question. Just one question. I didn't go to the game today. I watched it on TV. Out of you lot that went, did you think the atmosphere was good or flat?
Only after we equalised, the atmosphere was wicked. It was brilliant.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. As fans, we need to be on it from minute 1 to minute 90.
Simon, but I think the problem is because of, it may sound like I'm bashing him all the time, but it's because of the team he picked before we even started. We none of us, I don't think, wanted that midfield. So you're already on the back foot then, and you're thinking to yourself, fucking hell, we're going to put too much pressure on ourselves. Why is he doing it? Why not just play Torreira in the centre midfield, holding midfielder, and play Willock and Ceballos? Because we didn't have, you know what I mean? I just don't understand it. So everyone's on the back foot already. Everyone that
I'll tell you why he didn't do that.
around me was saying the same thing, and that was, why the fuck is he doing it? Why does he do it every game?
Because he's got Shaka, Tell. He's got Shaka. That's why.
I just don't understand it. It's so frustrating because obviously all of us are Arsenal fans and we just want to win. Obviously we do. But, you know, he keeps doing it every week, and this is what I don't understand. Just pick a great team to go out and play attacking football and try and at least win the game. Don't worry about what the opposition can do or what they've got or what they've won. We are Arsenal. Play our own way, not change it every week.
Just picking up on what Stan's saying, right? I don't rate Socrates. Everyone's talking the way people go on about Socrates. Everyone thinks he's Bobby Moore, right? He's all right. He's a 30-year-old defender. He's had his best days behind him, and his best days was never that good anyway. All he is a stopgap. You know, he's nothing more, nothing less, and that's it. He's an average footballer playing in an average team, and for the average price that we pay for him. For Arsenal to get to the next level, we need to get the players out like Socrates, like Xhaka, like Mkhitaryan. We need to like David Luiz is another one, another stopgap.
We just got him in.
Well, we tried signing Upamecano, didn't we? But they wanted us to do his release clause, which was 90 million. So that's why I think basically with David Luiz, he is a stopgap. I've accepted that. I already know that. But it's a better stopgap than bloody Mustafi.
It is a question for you. It is a question. When was the last time? This is what the problem is with Arsenal, and has been for years now. When was the last time did we buy a class defender? You tell me. When was the last time?
Well, a while back, mate.
He's stumped us all here.
William Gallas.
Fucking Sol Campbell, isn't it?
It's Sol Campbell, but we didn't even buy him. We got him on a free.
King William Gallas. My man's crying at middle of bleeding pitch. I was there that day, and even I was shouting at him, "Get up, you prat!"
But it's got to be Sol Campbell, and we didn't even buy him. We bought him on a free.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many years ago is that? It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? This is where the problem is. And you know, I'm grateful that all these backroom staff are coming because they do look like they're going to be a good job. But why didn't they get that position sorted in this window just gone?
I think also as well. Next season, Saliba. I mean, by all accounts, is going to be the next best thing. But again, If he's going to be the mainstay, and we don't get an upper Meccano in January or next summer, that's a hell of a lot of pressure you're putting on the young side. They only played a season and a half of football, so yeah, I think that this jury's going to be out on him as well.
Well, it's Josh though himself that's putting pressure on him, saying that we will be productive in January and the following season, like summer.
Yeah.
So that's not us. That's not us demanding upper Meccano. That's him coming out and saying we will be productive and we will go hard again, basically in January. So he's got to live up to it.
You know what? When we signed Aubameyang, I said on AFTV on deadline day, I said I'd have rather had 2 quality centre halves than Aubameyang, right? Or even one. Another 2 windows went, and we've now bought Pepe. My thoughts haven't changed. Aubameyang's quality, the goals he brings is quality, but by no means is the all-round player. Because he's not. There's a lot in Aubameyang's game which is lacking. But again, we still haven't got that centre back. And Arsenal won't improve. I put it on AFTV today. It's like we're building an extension from brick on a wooden foundation, and until we've got the spine of our team sorted, we're always going to have these problems. There was times in the game today when I thought we were brilliant going forward.
Yeah.
In the second half.
We're devastating. We are devastating going forward.
That is when the bias come on.
Where credit's due. Some of their play, they have Spurs rattled, right? But then we get the other half of it, and that's what frustrates us as Arsenal fans. So I'm just going to ask you lot, and also everyone else in the comments, right? As a fan base, are we a fan base that's never going to be happy in our own head?
We could have Thierry Henry back in his prime and we're still whinging.
Yep. Same goes for everyone else.
I agree with that. I think if we was to play attacking football with the players that we want to pick, like the players now that are in our team, I don't think any of us would have played that team, would we? And I certainly wouldn't have played that team. I don't know.
I wouldn't have played that team.
So
No, I would have.
that's what I'm saying. So if he just got the team right, down to just one player that maybe we all would grumble about and say I wouldn't have played him, or would have played someone else, then I think you would bring everyone together. But he doesn't seem to want to do that.
But Valley, as a fan base, so I'll say only 20% of our fan base are questioning the process and what Emery is trying to do now and his tactics. I think the other 80% are fully behind him blindly, right? In my opinion, right? Or they've seen that saying that we haven't seen. Is Emery going to be the man who takes us forward? In your opinion?
No.
When we've got when I see Holding, Bellerin, and Tinian, and if we haven't performed, then I'll be questionable. But until then, it's got to end the season.
So how about the next new manager comes in and they're still not performing under the new manager? Then what?
You get rid of players that are not
the next
performing.
season.
And then you're going to wait for the next season, and then another new manager.
Simon wants to get top 4. He likes top 4.
He loves top 4. Simon. Top 4.
It's funny. It's funny how since it's from 2010 we were constantly getting top 4 and everyone mocked us for it. Now we're so desperate for it, we've picked up silverware when teams around us want top 4 with no silverware.
See,
now,
to me, I think
top 4 is a big thing because there's a lot of big clubs out there now. There's clubs who, I mean, you've got Wolves now coming up. They're dangerous. They're not fighting for top 4, but they'll beat you. Then you've got Leicester.
Yeah.
And you've got
Everton.
Everton, yeah. I mean, I can't really.
See, to me, I would rather not get top 4 at the moment because we haven't got the team to compete in the Champions League. We haven't got the team to compete in there. If we play Barcelona and Real Madrid and Juventus and all them teams now, we would get annihilated because of the way he sets us up and play. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. True. And if us Arsenal fans now, most of our Arsenal fans now are happy to get top 4 and to go to Liverpool and say, well, they're the Champions League winners. So we've got to set up to defend because obviously we're never going to win anyway. We just got to minimise how many goals are in. What's that going to be like when we go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, and all them teams?
It's true. Boys,
True.
sorry to interrupt, but my phone's about to die. I don't know how it's gone all the way down, but
Sonny, you're volume's off.
Oh shit! Sorry. You know. I said it seems to me by the reaction I get off of Twitter and other social media platforms. In my opinion, 80% are behind Emery. The other 20 are voicing their opinion, right? You know, at that 80%, I just can't understand, right? Simon's in that 80%, right?
Sorry, Simon, but you are.
a lot of our fans, what they're saying is Emery is a short-term appointment to get us into the Champions League, right? And then afterwards, Arsenal going to appoint anyone. You lot must be really deluded, right? If you think that guy has built a team, had the backing of the team, and then as soon as we get top 4, they're going to fuck him off. It's not going to happen. Emery would be
No chance.
Simon,
No chance.
What's your take?
What's that, sorry?
no, they won't sack him.
After we get top, if Emery gets to top 4, he's here to stay for the long haul. Don't you agree?
The same with other teams. Any manager gets a team to top 4, they won't sack him. They'll give him a contract.
Our fan base seem to think, right, that Emery's going to get top 4 is a short-term appointment, and then they're going to fuck him off. That's not going to happen.
But the
No
deluded
chance.
fans. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to. Oh mate, people who
Mind
think,
you, Leicester won the league and fucked him off.
Yeah, they almost got relegated the season after. That's fine.
stupid.
Leicester had to do that though.
I just think it's a society problem nowadays, and it's not about the winning; it's about the taking part, and that's what most of our fans seem to be bothered about now. You know, it's not about going to Liverpool and winning; it's about taking part and just losing by the 2 goals and only losing by 3-1 and not 5-1. I mean, that in itself is atrocious.
This is an excellent point Stan has made, right? He says you could be unsure about the manager but still be behind him, right? You can also still be behind him and question him as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
exactly. That's true. You still got to question what he's doing today.
At the end of the day, obviously, we'd all have to turn around and say we're all behind him. Arsenal are playing brilliant. We're going to win the league this season, but we're not. We're just trying to be realistic. It's only an opinion at the end of the day. I've got my opinion. I don't agree with Emery. Same as Simon. He's got his opinion and he does agree with him. But, you know, at the end of the day, we're both Arsenal fans.
Then we've got to stick together.
I'm going to say it. I want to find a die-hard Arsenal family, right? Who don't get a chance to go to the game, who watch the games at home, right? I want to do like not a watch along, but more like a Google box, right? So yeah, what I want to do, I want to find anyone out there, I want to find a die-hard Arsenal family, and I want to watch a game, record the whole thing, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit your best bits, right? And I want to have that in the future as a regular feature on the show, because I want all the fans to see other fans match their experiences and opinions. Because the problem is with a lot of YouTube channels, they're doing all the same content. I'll speak to a Tottenham fan, you speak to a Tottenham fan. Over my dead fucking body is a Tottenham fan ever coming on my channel? Never. It's never going to happen.
Amen to that.
Right?
Not even for charity.
You should do it for the bands, isn't it? Do it for the bands.
Any fans out there who want to do a watch along, and I don't just mean 2 people sitting in a room watching a game of football. I mean it as a collective, 5, 6 people, and then give us your opinions. You know, and then let's get this channel to then share that. I think that's better content than
It's real fans, Sonny. Real fans.
Told Sonny's after AFTV. Look at Robbie.
That time, didn't he?
Make it today. It would have been a big ask with his family to have a late kickoff, and then also when he gets home to come on the channel, because basically his wife would probably have killed him.
At least Simon would have had a backup.
I mean, bring it back to today. I mean, me, I come back scratching my head, right? Because basically, at times we played some great stuff. At other times I thought was awful. Again, it's like we're two teams, Jekyll and Hyde. We've got a team who can attack, but in transition they're terrible. As soon as they lose the ball, none of them know where each other are. That for me is an Emery issue. It's a coaching issue. So,
yep.
What is your overall idea of the game today, Simon? Give us like a little couple of minute wrap up of this game, because it is supposed to be a Tottenham Arsenal breakdown.
Well, when the starting lineups came out, I first looked and I went, right, fair enough. Three defensive people in midfield. Don't know why he's doing that. But then I thought, defence-wise, if Tottenham come at us, they can come back basically, and we can just drown them out like Newcastle did. But Newcastle can defend better than us. I was excited for Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang. I thought, finally, he's listened. And then, as soon as the game started, I thought the first 10 minutes when we attacked them, we actually looked all right. I thought we could actually get 3 or 4 in this game. And then all of a sudden, they had one chance. And I think it was Son, And then they had another chance. And then another chance. And it's like our defence, there's a point where David Luiz turns to Socrates and looks at him, and Socrates looks at him. I think it's on the 8th minute. And then Tottenham, basically, when they got the first goal, you just knew that they were going to get another one, and probably could get another one. It could be 3-0. And then you're waiting for him to make changes and do something. And I'm wondering, why is Ceballos not playing? Why is Ozil on the bench and he's not playing? There's no creativity. I don't get it. And then when it went 2-0, and it was like, it's League Cup all over again. Last season, it's literally League Cup all over again. And then Lacazette got one back, and that was an absolute unbelievable goal, Lacazette's. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, what a bang, mate.
That touch to take it away from the defender.
And with
unbelievable.
You know what?
And then best thing about it, I'm running around the pub when it's 2-1, and then suddenly I look on there and it says Pepe assist. I'm going even mental. Up to
that point, Lacazette was having a pretty poor game, though. You know.
Yeah, he would start off with. And then we got to the second half, and then I'm thinking he's got to fetch Ceballos on. I'd take Xhaka off and put Ceballos on, and I'd switch it to a 4-2-3-1 because that formation suits us better. A 4-2-3-1. I would have actually moved Guendouzi into the number 10 and seen what he could do there, basically. Or if it didn't work, I would have fetched Ozil on and put him as a 10. But then basically, when he got back to the second half and noted being changed, I was sat there going, he only makes changes by now, what's going on? And then the game carried on, and I thought we actually started quite well in the second half. We actually started attacking them. And then Spurs came at us again, they had another chance, and we just gone back to a shell again. At the start of the second half, about 50th minute, we just went back into a shell and just wanted Spurs to come on to us. And it just got so frustrating. And then Guendouzi was literally just popping balls left, right and centre, trying to make things happen. Xhaka would have stood there doing nothing as per usual. And then Torreira as well was trying his best to do things. But then the fans weren't making any noise either at the start of the second half. I was watching it on TV and it just felt quiet. Nothing was being moved at all. You could literally see nothing. Unbelievable.
Chris, same for you. What was your overall view of the game? And is he going to set up like that? This is also a question for everyone in the comments as well. Based on what you saw today, is it a question of manager or personnel? Because the way I'm feeling at the moment, right? If Arsenal put Messi, Ronaldo in the team, Virgil van Dijk, it'll still be a manager issue for me at the moment. I don't think it's personnel. You can't put all these players in an Arsenal team, and they defensively they look like they don't know each other. I don't think nothing has improved defensively at Arsenal. Chris.
No, I get that, but I do think we are all slagging off Emery, and you've got to give a little bit of fee to the players because obviously they're getting paid a lot of money to play for Arsenal. And Emery's, I do think the formation was right. I'd have played it a bit different, but 4-3-3. But I'd play attacking, more attacking. I'd have Ozil in there straight away. I'd add Sanabas in there straight away. And I do think if he plays that formation going forwards, then I think we could be devastating. I really do, with attacking midfielders in there. But for me, from when we made it 2-2, I think it was 23, 24 minutes left. We was all gun blazing at them, but I could not believe we could not score another goal. And
we did. It was offside.
Yeah, I know. It was offside.
Yeah,
so
I was on their side anyway. I know it's offside or not, but
not to be able to beat a Tottenham team, like you said the other day, Manny, on your show, that they're in disarray. They haven't got a clue really what they're doing, and yet they look like the home team in the first half. Whatever way you look at it, they look like the home team.
I think actually Emery's scared of the top six, top four. Sorry, I think he's scared of the teams up there.
Yeah, comment before Liverpool game. He said, what did he say? He said, I wish we didn't have to play Liverpool at all this season.
I'm conscious of time.
Yep.
I'm conscious of time, right? So
he said it as a joke, but you can tell he meant it.
Let's wrap up your opinions quickly, because then I just want to go on to another quick topic, and then we're gonna finish. Mike, what's your overview of the game? Is it personnel or is it manager?
Well, I think it's lack of trust, and I want to go to something that Chris said. Chris mentioned, that you can't just pick on the coach. You've got to look at the players. You've got two very experienced centre backs in there, so you have to ask yourself why two experienced centre backs making such schoolboy errors. And I think there's a lack of trust. And for me, I would love to slide the way that Terry thinks. That's the way I think too, is to go out and attack. But I think that the trust issue is huge. So for me, as soon as they figure out who is going to play in front of that defence, and that it's not Granit Xhaka and maybe it's Lucas Torreira, then the centre-backs would start to trust a little bit more. And then perhaps we don't get into this defensive bind. But I don't think they trust Granit Xhaka. So my second point, Arsenal would have won today if Nicolas Pepe had better positioning. This is just moving on to the other end of the field. He had more of the ball than any other forward in the game. He was on the ball constantly, but he was making his own life too difficult. He didn't ever once get the ball and run directly at the player. And then if you watch it back, Sonny, in the final third, about 5-10 yards outside the box, he's not on the right side. He's veered back to the middle. And there's nobody on the right side to slide that ball into, much like Liverpool do with Salah. If he'd have stayed there and we could have slid the ball down that side, then he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, 10 yards out, and that's a different game. So I was very impressed with Pepe, but I think he needs to hold that position in the final third. So there's a couple of thoughts.
Well said.
Valley. What's your thought on the game? And is it personnel or manager?
He just personally, mate, he got it wrong, didn't he? He's scared, like you were saying. He's scared of the top six, and he is. You can't take that away from him. He's coming into a game, a North London derby game, mindset of 3 great attacking players that he's got, but nothing behind them to supply him. Absolutely nothing.
It was Aaron Ramsey last season that got us out of jail for that game.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ramsey as well. But the problem is just he's got to take this out of his own head. Because obviously the players are not going to trust him. The players are scared themselves. If the coach is scared, the manager's scared, the players are scared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly. It's not like the manager's coming out in press conferences saying, "Oh, Liverpool this, Liverpool that." He shouldn't be talking about Liverpool in that sort of state, because the players in the change room are thinking, "Hold on a minute, this dickhead's just gone and said that we're scared of Liverpool or Liverpool this," and in their head they're thinking, "Shit, we can't play good against them."
Lost before they start.
Today's
Sorry, Vanny.
Today's game. Hey?
Go on, bro. Go on.
Yeah, today's game. When he started, like when it started off, it didn't start well, did it? All right, Pepe had a good shot in first 3 minutes. It went completely over the bar. He pulled the ball in, cut it, shot. Then we started when we scored, and just before we scored, Lacazette, that boosted it completely. I mean, we came out second half. We came out how we finished the first half with the goal. That was it, and I thought, you know what, we're winning this game. But then we just I don't know, if he would have made a change straight away, putting Ceballos on, or even Ozil, just whacking him on the pitch, mate, it would have changed that game completely. I personally think we would have won it. But
Terry?
To start off with, obviously, as soon as I see the team, my back was up because obviously I don't think Zakar should be in our team anyway. And you can't play Zakar and Guendouzi together in my eyes. They just don't go well. Zakar shouldn't even be in the team, as I said. I think Guendouzi had quite a good second half. I thought the first half, really, I don't think anyone played well. But second half, I thought he was one of our best players, Guendouzi. But my only problem with Guendouzi is he's going to be a great player. He can pass the ball well. He can go forward, but he's just got no pace whatsoever. So as soon as he goes over the halfway line to push us forward, he can't get back. So he leaves us wide open, unfortunately. That's just another thing with Guendouzi, which I can't understand why people don't pick up. The other thing is that when you say, is it personnel or the manager? It's the manager for me. Yeah, the personnel like Zakar giving away the penalty. I mean, that's just downright stupid. Same as what Louise done last weekend. Stupid mistakes. These are supposed to be experienced players, and yet they look more inexperienced than our young ones because they don't do that. Yeah. But the biggest worry for me is that I can't understand why no one else can see it. We just mark space. We don't mark players. And that is what our biggest thing has been for the last 4 or 5 years. If you watch the game back, I'm telling you now, you watch all our players, all we do is we run back towards our goal and then as soon as they get to our goal area, that is when we want to put in a tackle. But they've run 80 yards to get towards us then. So we're putting pressure on ourselves. And the only reason why we're doing that is got to be through the manager. The manager has got to be telling them to play that way.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the game summed up. Just before we close and go, I just want to put a poll out to everyone who's watched this video, right? And what the poll is, regardless of the outcome of the poll, I'm still going to do how I see the channel. I want the channel to go forward, right? I'm going to say that now. But what I would like to know is your opinion whether it's going the right way or whether it's going the wrong way. Because I do want the feedback. But I've got a vision which I'm going to stick with in time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm happy for all the subscribers who subscribed because it means I'm influencing someone, even if it's not the majority. Yeah. So what the poll is, right? Do you want to see the same? I'm not knocking any channels, by the way, before they will get the knickers and the Swiss lever, right? This is unfiltered, so I'll say it as I see it, right? So, do you want to see the same 4 people with very good football knowledge and opinion? Because I think every channel was out there are excellent, and I watch all of them, so I'm not knocking them. Or would you rather see fans from our fan base who I ain't got a clue who they are, what they look like, what their opinions are, nothing. But it's totally unfiltered, and every single fan, regardless of whether they supported Arsenal for one day or whether they supported Arsenal for 50 years, is welcome to come on the show, give me their opinion, and also send me their content, right? So for the fans who brought up podcasts like The Same Old Arsenal, who I watch and I like, and I've got friends on the channel, and also Laguna Talk, who's been doing podcasts for a lot longer than I've been doing them, and as probably thinking, what's Sonny doing, because that won't work, which is cool. But some people need to learn the hard way. So I'm on my own journey. So I'd rather make up my own opinion, right? But as far as I'm concerned, if I want to do a show and go on about games which happened 10 years ago, I'll do a show on games 10 years ago because they've got no relevance today. Different players, different fans, different, everything's different, right? So what relevance 10 years ago has got nothing to do with this channel at all. So you don't necessarily have to be clever to know what Arsenal done 10 years ago, right? It's showboating, as far as I'm concerned, right? Right. So where I want this channel to go and where I want you all to help, I say it every week, right? And this is my mission statement, right? Whether you believe in it or not, this channel is not about me. So digging me out, you're doing it for no reason because this channel is not about me. It's just got my name on the title, right? And I'm the person who set it up, right? This channel is about your opinion. So don't knock what I do and what I say. If you've got something to say, send me in a video after the game. Simple as that, right?
Come on, Sonny. Why don't you come on? Why don't they come on?
I'm giving you all the opportunity to come on this channel. I haven't discriminated against no one. And I'm the only channel out of all the YouTube channels who are doing this. So if you all want to see the same people doing the same thing about the same thing, you're welcome to. But all I'm providing is an alternative for you to get involved in. So, Fuzzleton, send me in your videos if you wish to. Come on the podcast if you wish to. Come in the comments if you wish to. Right. Again, if you've got any other ideas, like I'm going to do the Google box thing. If any of you got other ideas, as far as I'm concerned, all I'm providing is the platform. The content is based on what you lot want to put in it. So don't knock me for trying, right? If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like me, don't watch me. But send me your opinion, and I'll hear it. I can't be any more fairer than that. Okay, so that's how we're going to close it. I hope you lot send me in your feedback because it's very important to me. Like I said, I'm not going to change what I'm doing, but I do want to know if you feel that I'm going in the wrong direction, right? So that is important to me. So send me in your post-match videos. If you don't send in a video after we just dropped points against Tottenham, right? And you're not shy to go on the camera, when are you going to send me in a video? You're not going to do it against Watford. You're not going to do it against Everton. You're not going to do it against Leicester. So this is a big game, and I would like your opinion. I would share it as well. Okay, follow me on Twitter, Sunny_Arsenal, and share the content, because without this channel growing, it limits me to what I need to do. There's a lot of things I want to do on the channel, and I haven't got the opportunity to do it yet. But the most important message is this channel is for you, and it's totally unfiltered. We're not trying to be Sky Sports. We're not trying to be BT Sports. And we're not trying to be Coronation Street either. So if you like me, back me. If you don't like me, don't watch. So I'm going to thank you all for watching. We're unfiltered. We say it as we see it. It's for some. It's not for others. That's how it is. It's not just for old people having a rant. All right. It all depends on who's on here. You've got Simon, who's the most positive person I've seen since Ty. So I'm glad he's on. It's a different balance of opinion. So please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Like I said, all it is the same different. I'd like to say thank you to all my guests who have been on: Simon, Mike, Terry, Valley, Chris. All these guys before this channel, before I went on Twitter, I didn't know from Adam, right? I don't know Adam either, right? So basically, if you want to be the next guys sitting in this box, feel free to get in contact with me. Just DM me, drop me a message, right? So that's me out of here. As far as I'm concerned, I'm disappointed. We've drawn 2-2. We've dropped 2 points. We're still unsure about Emery. We're still unsure about some of the players. And we roll on to the next one. So take care, everyone. I hope you subscribe, because without likes, the channel's not going to be known. Take care.
See you later.
See ya.
See you later, boys.